What up everybody, how's it going? My name is Johnny's Double and today I've got some breaking news for you. As a Zarya main, I'm sorry, but I am picking D.va now more than Zarya. I'm sorry girl, Zarya, I gotta leave you behind. You're just not meta anymore. D.va is so much more better in so many ways. Part of the reason I think I'm picking D.va so much is because I just have a thing for Asian girls, but that's besides the point. It's important to note that mobility is huge in this meta, and this is why D.va has an advantage over some of the other tanks in the meta. With Tracer, Genji, and Pharah being so mobile and being a highly picked character right now in the meta, you need somebody who can keep up with those characters. Ryan's almost useless against a Genji and a Tracer, and don't get me started with Pharah. And Pharah being perceived as such a powerful character right now, I don't think people realize, well, I think people need to realize that D.va's a great counter to her. A patient D.va can negate Pharah's damage really well if timed properly. And we all know D.va is a great counter to both McCree and Soldier. Now, I want to start by talking about D.va's defense matrix. I don't think some people realize that her defense matrix is a 3D space that things cannot go through. And it's important to realize this because this is how you're gonna get the most value out of her. It really is like a black hole, not like that shit that fucking Zarya shoots. It doesn't even really suck shit in. Anyways, D.va's infinite ammo and the multiple pellets that she's shooting out makes you feel like you should be the DPS and doing a lot of damage. Now this is something you should be doing a lot of the time, but you have to remember that your primary role is to be a tank. If a Winston dives in, get in his face right away. He's probably diving one of your healers or a squishy on your team. You need to be very situationally aware of what's happening around your team. As soon as that happens, as soon as a Winston dives on one of your squishies, you need to fly right over there with your defense matrix up, timed properly, boop him, and then fucking smack him in the face with your melee for some extra damage, and then spray and pray. Get him off your teammates. Don't let anybody touch your teammates. That is your job as a tank on defense, to negate space and damage for the other team. Same goes when DPS is attacking. If a Pharah is shooting rockets in your team, carefully timed defense matrix can totally negate her damage. That girl only has 6 rounds in her clip, and I believe shoots a rocket about once every second. Therefore, you should realize that Pharah is really sluggish. Now, what I also want to talk about is D.va's defense matrix. What divides a good D.va from a bad D.va is how often and at what moments she uses her defense matrix. If you find yourself constantly running out of it and very often, you're probably using it for too long and not efficiently. D.va's defense matrix should be used at engagements, protecting your teammates from Pharah rockets, and just damage in general, but at precise moments. You probably shouldn't be holding it down for more than 2 seconds at a time. And if you find this troubling, and if you're in a choke and you feel like you need to hold it down for a lot longer, you probably are in the choke for way too long. D.va's defense matrix should be used to get through a choke. Engage quickly with her defense matrix, get the most value out of it, dive a soldier that's maybe at the backline doing a lot of damage to your teammates, and then in that way you'll be doing effectively what D.va is used for, and that is creating space for your team to move in. You can sum up what I just discussed by describing D.va as somebody who disrupts an engagement or an attack or an assault on your teammates and on the team as a whole. It may not feel like you're doing much, but if you've ever played against a really good D.va and the defense matrix is going up at the right times when you're trying to do the most damage at crucial parts of the fight, it really feels like you're getting fucking cock blocked. So maybe I should put it that way, you should be the cock block of the enemy team. Now I want to talk about her ultimate usage. A lot of people use it to clear a point. That is the biggest waste of an ultimate. I think D.va's ultimate gets wasted the most out of all the ultimates in the game because people think it's a good way to just clear the point. D.va's ultimate causes a lot of panic and a necessity to move out of the way. If you can do it while someone else is ulting or while there's a fight going on right away, that's the best time to use it. Maybe when a Zarya is ulting or a Reinhardt's ulting, or my favorite, when a Sombra is ulting, because everybody's ability to move fast is immediately cancelled. Now I want to wrap up the video by talking about something that's very important, and that is knowing when to switch. And in D.va's case, it is when you're not creating space for your team, when you're not enabling your DPS and your team to move into a fight. If you walk into a fight and you can't stand your ground for more than 5 seconds, you may very well be disabling your team. A lot of D.vas don't realize this and they start complaining, you know, where's my DPS, why isn't anything dying? Maybe because they can't even walk into a fight. Maybe because they can't even protect themselves, they got nothing in front of them. If they got 2 tanks bulldozing towards them and there's nothing in front of them to protect them, they're gonna move away. They're gonna have a hard time killing anything. So be careful and realize when you're not tanking for your team and know when to switch. This usually happens when you're versing a lot of counters to you, and this can mean a Mei, maybe a Zarya, a Roadhog. These are tough characters to fight against, so just be wary of when you should switch. Thank you for listening, guys. That was my video. If you liked it, you know what to do. And before I go, I want to tell everybody to not forget this is just a game. Always try to have fun, and yeah, don't get toxic out there, boys.